Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
Who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And what he do?
And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. We have taken a little break, but we are back. And today, our episode is sponsored by Omaze. Now, Omaze is kind of a really cool organization. They are giving away a home in Austin, Texas. Really an amazing home, very large, or you have $1.3 million in cash. So if you donate and you go to omaze.com /CLR Bruce Rivers, and you donate $10, you're automatically entered in a chance to win either this beautiful luxury home with custom windows. It's just an amazing place, over 3,000 square feet, or $1.3 million in cash. So, you know, if it's probably $1.3 million in cash or a home, what would you do with $1 million? I can tell you what I'd do with $1 million. I'd probably get another boat. I don't know. But anyway, and here's the thing. This is our first sponsor, and we've been approached by many sponsors, and we chose this one because of their mission. It's not just a giveaway. It's not just, it's a very worthy organization because what they do is they sponsor scholarships and education programs for the families of fallen war heroes. And they have sponsored over 20,000 families in all the 50 states and Guam and Puerto Rico. So it's a really worthy cause. So we'd like to make sure that you donate for your chance to win those prizes. But even if you don't win the prize, it's a worthy cause, and donating will help some families that are in need, and we all can support our men and women who have served and given the ultimate sacrifice. And the best way to do that is to support their families, and that's what Omaze does. So go to omaze.com /CLR Bruce Rivers. Now, what are we doing today? We are talking about Frederick Dewan Thomas Givens II, also known as Fredo. Fredo Bang. Now, he was arrested on a parole violation in Miami on, I think it was July 22nd. Yoshi was also arrested on a fugitive warrant out of Louisiana. Both warrants were out of Louisiana. Lil Yoshi was arrested on an attempted murder, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but back in 2019 there was a shooting, a drive-by shooting where these two folks were wanted for questioning, and the shooting involved NBA Youngboy. His girlfriend was hit. A couple other people were grazed. And there was a guy by the name of Muhammad Yardi, who was a 43-year-old Hertz rental car worker who was just got off a shift from across the street. Innocent bystander got killed in that shooting. And Lit Yoshi and Fredo Bang, a.k.a. Frederick Givens II, were wanted in that and questioning for that shooting. Don't know if they've given any statements or not, but both are wanted for questioning. Both have been arrested. Now, one of the conditions that Mr. Givens had on his parole was not to post anything on social media. And that's what he did. He posted a video. So I don't know if that's, his lawyer thinks he'll be able to get him out of this quickly and hopefully without extradition. But he's waiting in the Miami-Dade County Jail, awaiting extradition, and his lawyer seems to think that he can get him out of there. Now, let's talk a little bit about NBA Youngboy, because that's who that beef was with. And you know where he is. He's sitting in a federal holding cell in Louisiana. His lawyers filed a motion to reconsider the detention decision by the district court judge. Now, it is so soundly within the judge's discretion to either keep him in jail or release him. In fact, there's a presumption that he's detained, and it's a rebuttable presumption. And so it's up to the defense to provide a condition or a set of conditions that would not only reassure his appearance at court, but also to protect the public safety. Now, his lawyers indicated that when he was arrested, the name of the operation in which he was arrested was Never Free Again. And if you know what NBA Youngboy says, or what it stands for, Never Broke Again, I think that was kind of a cruel, immature-ish play on words by the cops. But nevertheless, that's what his point was, and that he's a victim, blah, blah, blah. Here's the problem when you do some of this stuff. You sort of poison the well, because what happens is the prosecution then presented photographs of NBA Youngboy at this photo shoot, and one of them was he's standing with a 10-year-old little kid, and he's holding a Draco. He's holding a shortened AK-47, and and NBA Youngboy wasn't the only one arrested that day. There were plenty of other guys arrested, and so they've got him cold on that weapons charge. But here's the other thing. The judge in that case said that there's no condition or set of conditions that would reasonably assure the public safety. And you have to go into what his criminal history is too, because that plays a big part in whether to detain somebody or not. Now, he has got a long history dating back to when he was 15. He has an attempted murder charge, domestic assault charge, aggravated assault, weapons and guns violations, and robbery at the age of 15. And we're like 6 years later, and he's not really changing his ways. And in the current offense, as you recall, he took off from cops and they recovered another gun in California. So, that criminal history plays a big part in this, because it demonstrates who you are as a person and what the risk is if he's going to let you out. And if you recall, there was a warrant out for his arrest when they went and picked him up. That's why they went to go pick him up to begin with. So, and he was on probation. So up until that point, NBA Youngboy really had done hardly any time for any of the stuff that he had already pled guilty to. Very, very little time. And so I think, looking at what he's facing now, he's looking at a very significant amount of time, at least a 5-year mandatory minimum, perhaps consecutive 5-year mandatory minimums, because they're probably 924C counts, and each one of those is consecutive to whatever else he's facing. So when the judge stacks up all the pros and cons of letting him out versus detaining him, he already saw that he was on supervision and committing other crimes while he was on supervision, aka possessing a firearm while he's on supervision and while he's got a felony background. So the judge, and here's the thing: he's sitting in jail. He's got nothing but time to dwell on this. And I've had cases like this where the client is demanding, a rehearing and generally when a judge makes a decision like this, unless you have super compelling circumstances like medical, or that they are wrong in their case, or some other compelling reason that wasn't brought up at the prior hearing, a judge is not going to let him out. And what probably happened here is that the client is getting antsy and pissed off that his lawyer is not doing anything, which happens a lot when they're just sitting there. And what happens is you just file the motion because that's what your client has asked you to do, but there's not much chance of it succeeding. And that happens all the time. So, they're going to be in court next week. And so we'll probably have more updates as to where this case is going to go. But he was denied the rehearing on the bail, and so there he sits. So, and on Fredo Bang and Lil Yoshi, we'll see what happens with those guys, because they've got a couple of fairly significant cases, and we'll see if anything develops between that and the homicide that occurred in 2019. Generally speaking, things don't get better as they age. However, if somebody gets pulled into custody that was part of that group that might have some information, guess what? That's what we have, snitching. And that's how the government's cases are generally built, snitching. So we should stop that snitching, or self-snitching for that matter. Anyway, if you like this, we've got plenty of these. So let's spread the word. Let's stop all that self-snitching. There'll be instructions on our Patreon on how to obtain the delivery method of this message. So I want everybody that's out there to wear this hat and stop all that self-snitching. Because guess what? One of the things that denied him this motion to reconsider the bail is he posed for a picture with the 10-year-old boy holding this AK or this Draco, whatever it was, and he's. I mean, it's just like, here's me with the gun. It's like that. What do we call that? Self-snitching. Let's stop the self-snitching. So, anyway, so that's all I got for today. I appreciate our sponsor, Omaze. So go to omaze.com/CLR Bruce Rivers. Donate $10 to support your chance of winning either a beautiful home in Austin, Texas, or $1.3 million in cash. And that donation will help support our fallen heroes. And the name of that charity is Folds of Honor. And Folds of Honor supports thousands of families in education, assistance to fallen war heroes. So, Bruce Rivers, CLR Bruce Rivers, we'll see you next time.